episode number 90 something. We've been at this a little while now. Support for today's episode comes from True Classic. Our new sponsor is the absolute best fitting t-shirts a man can buy. Finding the right t-shirt with a little bit of a dad bod is incredibly frustrating. I'm a new dad, a little bit of a dad bod. I completely understand, and I'm wearing one right now, feeling confident reading this ad. True Classic has already helped over 2 million men finally get a better fit at an affordable price. Our listeners get access to the best deal they offer for a limited time only. Get 25% off using the promo code OTS Golf at trueclassic.com. Trueclassic.com, OTS Golf, 25% off plus free shipping. Enjoy the pod.
3 shots, 4 par, I just do 2, 1 putt, par 4, birdie, woohoo, new driver, info, replace, M2, par 5, fairway, what you fin do? Think I'll try to get on into, start right, good line, good view, hit Drew, shoot him McGavin,
Great. Episode 96, and we are here with Daniel White. Well, I'll give you the Vice President of Sales, correct? Mindful Sports Group?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yep.
Kind of done it all a little bit. So the idea is Daniel and I got talking a little bit. Recent club champion, so we're gonna have to talk about that. So congrats on that at Maple Downs.
Thank
so
you.
Anybody listening to the pod this week, probably listened a couple weeks ago, we had Lauren Zaretsky on, and female club champion there, and LPGA debut. And I know you know Lauren well, so I'm sure we'll get into that a little bit. And under the Mindful Sports Group is the Rapsodo. So that's kind of how we got connected, kind of talking about that a little bit. And here we are. Thanks for joining us, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. I'd be remiss to. I have to be honest and admit, not club champion, but it was the Maple Cup club champion. So it's two relatives, blood relatives that can join forces. Can't be a husband and wife and take on the rest of the field. I wish I was the club champion, though. Trust me, I wish. One day I will be. But...
Okay, I like it. All right, so you have to be with a family member who is. It's not husband and wife.
Correct. So a blood relative that's not husband and wife. So it can't even be a cousin. So siblings, parent-child, pretty much is the only ways to go about it. And we were champs last year. Was the first year ever, and we didn't think we were going to be able to defend, but we managed to. Funny enough, I got to say, shout out to my dad who got a hole-in-one in the morning, and then we won the club champion, the Maple Cup, in the afternoon, and it was his birthday the day after. So it was a pretty fun weekend to say the least.
Wow. What a day.
What a day is right. I will tell you, it was very exciting.
I had a friend, or a friend of the pod over at On the Mark Golf. Ray does like really cool graphics. He does like ball markers, stuff like that. And he also, like, I know he just does like kind of like 24-bit graphics sort of. It's really cool. You got to go check it out. But he did one. I know he like tagged Tony Finau when Tony Finau was doing the dance. And anyway, he did one for me when I had my hole-in-one. I had my little guy with me, which was really cool. So that was a couple months ago now. So I just got that today. I'm not still talking about that hole-in-one. I am when I can, but he just sent me the photo back today, which was pretty cool. But congrats to you guys. That's awesome. That's pretty cool. How do you? How's the format? What format do you guys play?
Yeah, it's alternate shot on the front 9. We both hit drives, and then you just choose and then fire off from there. Alternate shot, and then on the back 9, it's a scramble. Not like limited. Sometimes scrambles obviously limited to X amount of drives per person. Nothing like that. It's great. My mom is, she could drive the ball better than most ladies at the course and keeps it straight as an arrow. So, alternate shot played to our advantage just because she's playing from the ladies' tees. And I could hit that approach to green, whereas most of the field, from if it was a male, they were playing from much further back, and that alternate shot is just from a much further back distance. So shout out to my mom. I can tell you right now, I would never have come close to winning it with anyone else in the family. She is a killer out there. She was incredible both years.
That's awesome. That's I haven't been out to Maple Downs, but I know, well, Lauren was saying it's pretty amazing. The practice facilities are great. A friend of mine, Anthony's been over there a few times, and I've always heard good things. So I'm going to have to come check it out. It sounds like the spot to be. And I don't know. I've gotten into a lot of games, and I know the guys are probably listening right now. So, I don't know. I've been getting beat up a little bit. My golf game's in a bit of a dark place as we're recording this on, I think it's, I don't know, August 30th or something like that. It's we're in a tough time right now. But Corey, Sean, and Mike, thanks guys for putting up with it, taking all my money. But yeah, so before we go on, I wanted to ask you, Daniel, how is Lauren as a golfer? You've been able to see it firsthand a little bit, I guess.
I don't even know how to put it in words. An absolute star.
Yeah,
She is the future of golf, in my opinion. This woman can crush a ball. I'll tell you right now, my opinion is her drive is her biggest strength, and I think she can speak to that as well. She drives it on average, close to 50 yards further than the average LPGA player alone.
yeah,
I remember playing golf with Lauren at Maple Downs. It's par 72. It's the tips are 65, 81, and watching her drop a 67 like it was no problem, just with ease. And for those that know Maple Downs, the greens are very tricky. You've really got to have a great short game to be able to score and go low at Maple Downs. And for Lauren specifically, I mean, her game all around is amazing. Like I said, I can't speak about her drives anymore. She crushes it. Her she's out driving me every time pretty much. But what I also love to see is how grounded she is. She's still only 18 years old. She just, today or yesterday, excuse me, was her first day at Texas Tech. Incredible story, obviously, to watch her go there for a 4-year scholarship. But I personally just love watching her swing, watching her grind. I'm one of the people, I'll tell you, that's there usually one of the first few tee times. Whenever I play, I'm usually playing in that
yeah,
7 to 7:30 range, and Lauren is there already.
yeah.
It's great to see that, right? And that's what you need. It's not just the skill, but you have to have the passion, the drive, and the work ethic, right? And I think that's the most important thing. Something my business partner and the golf agent who reps our players always says is it's not just about the skill, but it's about the work ethic, and that really can make or break you. And Lauren, at such a young age, sky's the limit, and I'm excited to watch her grow. I'm excited to watch her, achieve milestones that have never been achieved before in Canada.
Yeah, and it's like we're witnessing the greatest Canadian golfer of all time right now with Brooke Henderson too, right? So it's female golf is in a really good place. It's it, the CP Women's Open was awesome, and obviously Lauren went there. Congrats to Lauren making the cut and having a hole in one, which was awesome. So that's happened a few times. We've had a couple pros on, and they've gone out and had a hole in one recently after the pod. So um, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything to that, but hopefully,
Uh,
maybe we'll
you
we
know
s-
what? It's the opposite of the Madden curse, right? The Madden curse
exactly.
where any of the NFL athletes they all get injured and they go downhill afterwards. This is you got to find some way to spin it, and you have to have a name for it here. I don't know, the on the screws surprise. I don't
Yeah,
know,
it'll
something
be
like
like,
that. But
yeah,
yeah,
speaking hole in ones into existence. We had Kevin Gordon on. He plays on PJ Tour Canada. He's over at Coppenwood, and I think he was actually at Payne Valley for a bachelor party. I don't know if they were playing there or one of the other rounds. And we were talking to him like a couple days before, and it was shortly after I had had mine, and he was saying, "I can't believe I don't have one. Like I've had so many so close." And like there's a clip where I'm like, "Oh, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen very soon, Kevin. Like it is definitely gonna happen." And then he sent me like a video like a couple days later, and yeah, posted it up. So
incredible. Love
hard
that.
to beat in your not her pro debut, but in her LPGA Tour debut. That is really hard to beat getting a hole in one. Um, and I think
First day as well.
first day, and I think she shot 68 or something in the
Yeah,
first
she
day.
went
Yeah,
-3 on day
three
one.
under,
Yep,
yeah, in the first
she
day.
was
So
great.
it was awesome,
Fantastic.
awesome to watch. But yeah, again, we're in conversation with Daniel. Sorry, man, we kind of got like way off track. So we're
No need to apologize. I love talking golf. I will
yeah.
talk Lauren. I will pump her up and pump her tires all day long. You don't have to ask me twice to do it.
Well, and like you were saying, how she's there early. Like we're there. It's like 7 a.m. It was the Friday of the conversation. It was like her schedule was jam packed. So thanks for fitting us in. And she didn't want to wake her parents up, so she went over to the clubhouse, and we were having the chat there, which was awesome. So we're in
I love that.
we're in conversation with Daniel White, Rapsodo, and the Mindful Sports Group. Maybe you can just give us an idea, Daniel, of who you are and kind of how we came about the chat, and a couple of things that we might get into.
Yeah, for sure. I'll start. I mean, look, sports has been a passion of mine since I was a kid. I actually transferred from Western to George Brown because I got a job at Maple Leaf Sports Entertainment after second year, and I wanted to seize that opportunity and get my foot in the door. And I worked at Maple Leaf Sports for 12 years. I've worked at the Rogers Center for 4 years over there as well during my time while I was in school. I was in sales at MLSE for the back end of my career there, and loved it all the way until I left there in February 2021. COVID obviously, unfortunately, got in the way, but I'm sure you can tell behind me, I'm a pretty big Raptors fan. I got a lot of stuff on the board, but yeah, I've always loved playing almost every sport. Golf has definitely been the top. Golf and basketball have been my top two, and that's why I worked at MLSC and I loved it so much. As much as it was a job, it felt just like such a pleasure and a privilege to be there. Um,
Yeah,
you
we'll
have to
take a
pause
pause.
there. Yeah,
We got chicken in the oven.
we got chicken in the oven. Hang on.
Yeah, no worries. All right, we made it through 9, and this glizzy is brought to you by our friends over at Manscaped, manscaped.com. You can go over, check out the Ultra Premium Collection, or anything that you need to not suffer through the back 9 here. Using the promo code OTS Golf, you will get 20% off plus free shipping. And maybe you'll go low on the back. Thank you for supporting the episode. Thank you for supporting the pod. Manscaped.com, 20% off using the promo code OTS Golf. Free shipping right to your door. Enjoy the pod.
I've worked at MLSC for 12 years. I was, diehard Raps fan, worked on the sales side over there, helped with some partnerships as well for the multiple brands across the company. But for me, sales has been something I love doing. I love networking, client entertainment, kind of that aspect of the business. But combine that with sports, it's a passion, but it's something that you wake up every day and you're excited to do. And for me, growing up and as I kind of grew up in the workforce, I always wanted to make sure I did something that I loved. You always want to wake up ready to go to work. Once you're not at that point, once you're waking up feeling miserable, that's when you feel, in my opinion, you need to make a change and you need to do something else because you got to be happy and you have to have a good work-life balance. And so, yeah, during COVID, unfortunately, obviously, COVID changed a lot in the sports entertainment
For sure,
landscape.
yeah.
I couldn't really focus on the Leafs and Raptors brands. There was just nothing to, focus on selling. So it was unfortunate. So fast forward, I actually had met up with, again, a longtime friend of mine, Joe Shushad, who I've known since high school days. I've known him for 20 years now. And Joe and I have always been good friends. We're diehard golfers. And we've always talked about the idea of working together. But to be honest, look, sometimes, mixing business with friendship doesn't work. And we understood that going into it, talking about this years ago. And we said, we were only going to do this when it made sense, not just going to force it. The idea of working together was always something we had dreamed of doing, but it only came to fruition recently when the time was right. So fast forward to late 2021, early 2022, excuse me, where Joe was actually, Joe had met Victor Perez about 4 years ago now, and Victor, it was his first player that he actually signed as an agent. Victor was ranked outside the top 400 to be when Joe met him, and Joe helped him, helped finance him, helped put him in the right mindset, the right coaches, the right clubs, the right just kind of put him in the right direction with Joe's experience within the golf industry, which he's got a lot of. And Victor ended up going as far as, I think he was ranked 28th in the world, was his highest and his peak, which was 2020 when he lost to Billy Horschel in the semifinal Sunday of the WGC match play. And I'll tell you that weekend was so much fun watching Victor propel. And I wasn't part of the team yet. I wasn't part of the company, but Joe is a longtime friend of mine. So obviously I'm rooting for Victor. And Victor's, a past winner. He's won in the Dunhill Links, which is a major tournament in the European Tour. And so it allowed Victor to kind of propel his career, he played in the Masters in 2021. This past year, he played in the U.S. Open and the Open, T34 in the Open actually this year. And he was playing great. And what this allowed Joe to do, though, was propel and expand his agency. So we had one player, now all the way up to just over 10 players, hoping to have a few more before the end of the calendar year signed. We've got players from the Challenge Tour, the Corn Ferry Tour. We've got some on the DP Tour. So we've got Jesper Venson, Maverick Antcliffe. We've got Mike Lorenzo Vera, Chris Baker, who's on the Corn Ferry. Someone I'm really excited about and we're pumped about his future is Pontus Nyholm, who's a 24-year-old Swedish player who's on the Corn Ferry. He actually had a hole-in-one, I want to say it was a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, but it was incredible. Pontus almost won one of the Corn Ferry Tour tournaments, which was great. and he's fighting to get a PGA card, but he's still young as well. So very excited to have him on board. Now, what happened was Joe actually was able to grow his roster so large that he kind of needed or wanted assistance on the partnership side. Wanted to help with partnership for his players, sponsorship deals, experiences, and that's where I came in. I had quite a network and a book of business within the sports industry and people that love golf, but also my hustle and passion, which Joe knows and he can speak to, allowed me to have this opportunity, and I was very thankful for it. And this is kind of that moment where Joe and I sat and realized we have something here. There is something we can do here together. And so I hopped on board. It was absolutely no brainer, and that kind of led to Rapsodo.
So,
To that, yeah.
sorry, Daniel.
Sorry.
I just want to jump in before we get to Rapsodo. Now, when the players, obviously you'll contact them, or they might contact you or Joe or whatever it is. So, is it mainly just like sponsorships that you're trying to seek out for them, or is there any other like? Because I was kind of going through the website, you're trying to help them with their game all around, right? Is there any other aspects that you're kind of connecting them with?
Yeah, it's a great question. What I like to do is not just focus on sponsorship deals, but experiences. I want to allow people the opportunity to play with these players. For example, I just Victor came here for a week in the first week of August, and I had set up some rounds with some people that I knew, some clients that I knew, and they could pay to play around with Victor. Joe is a member of Coppenwood. We have connections at the National, so Victor actually played the Nash with a couple of guys. Um, and the reason I do that and I don't just go the partnership route and the sponsorship route is something I learned at MLSC. A mentor of mine, and he's now the chief revenue officer for the New York Mets, Jeff DeLine. He always told me it's partnerships aren't necessarily about digital signage and putting your ad on a billboard at games anymore. It's about relationships, building and growing relationships, but also providing clients experiences. Being able to provide someone with a memory and an experience that they'll never forget is a lot more powerful than putting, at Maple Leaf Sports in the Scotiabank Arena, a digital signage of your company's logo. And it hit me, and he's so right. And I've learned so much from him and from a lot of the executives at Maple Leaf Sports about going that route on the partnership side. So I've kind of tailored it, and we've allowed ourselves to focus on doing that while doing partnerships as well. Pontus has a deal now with Colliers International, but we included in the deal is Pontus is going to actually have the opportunity to play with. Colliers has the chance for them to send 3 people to play with Pontus at TPC Sawgrass, and that's a memory
For
that not
sure.
only Colliers is going to remember, but whoever they send.
Yep.
So it's not necessarily them sending their executives. They may want to send one of their best clients. Completely up to them. But those are kind of experiences that you can't replicate. But more importantly, not everyone has access to, and not everyone has the opportunity to make that work. So we wanted to kind of stretch it and not just focus on the brand and partnership side, but we wanted to focus on that experiential treatment. We've done a trip to the U.S. Open, for example, when Victor was playing, provided someone with access. So we kind of focus on going outside the box.
Now, I was thinking back to when Victor was, yeah, when he finished the second Billy Horschel in I think it was the semifinals, yeah?
Yeah, so he lost to Horschel in the
In the
semis, and
semis, yeah, and then
I forget
Horschel
if it
went
was
on to win.
Sergio. I think he beat Sergio in the afternoon. Yeah.
Yeah, so right at that time, I had Mac Boucher on the pod, and I know that he had recently, like just before that, caddied for Victor, and I know you and I were kind of talking about that a little bit, and it was just kind of cool to kind of connect all those dots, and that was just right when like Victor was peaking, and Victor's an awesome player, awesome to watch, like a lot of fun to watch. So kind of be cool to see where he goes. And I know Pontus, like I've seen a little bit of his game, and he pounds the ball, like he just absolutely smashes the ball. So that might be a good little Rapsodo connect there. I know
100%.
Brycer's mentioned in the past he has a relationship somehow with Jeff DeLine as well. I'm not sure how. I was trying to message him quickly there. I know he's working a little bit. Couldn't make the pod this evening, but I know he's got some type of relationship with him. So I'll have to let you know how. I don't know if it's like through his like father or something like that. But yeah,
Yeah,
so
it might
small
be through
world.
your Coppenwood connections as well. Jeff was a member there for a while. Like I said, he's someone I looked up to at Maple Leaf Sports and learned a lot from. an unbelievable golfer. Can kick my ass without even stretching, which probably if he switched hands, he could still kick my ass on the course. Not sure if I could swear like that, but
Yeah, go for
he
it, go for it. It's all good, man. It's all good. We got well, I don't know if this is fair, but I know Kevin Gordon won the club championships there. So the guy's
Kevin
telling
definitely knows Jeff.
yeah,
Yeah,
the guy's telling you just he played PGA Tour Canada. He's a lefty, which is awesome to watch because it's always fun for me to watch lefties who can hit the ball consistently and well all the time. But yeah, it's hard to kind of compare him. He's one of the one of the best golfers in Canada right now, right? So it's
for sure.
when he goes there and just kind of takes home some hardware. But yeah, hopefully we'll get out there one time and play. I think Coppenwood's it's a special spot. It is definitely a special spot. I got to get out and check out for sure.
It's incredible.
Yeah, have you played there recently?
I haven't played there this year. I've played there. I've probably played there about just under, yeah, probably about 7, 8 times in my life. It's funny when we were at Maple Leaf Sports, there was a silent auction every year during Christmas time, during the holidays, and one of the prizes that all the employees got to bid on, and one of them was playing at Coppenwood with Jeff and another executive, and you get a compliment, and you get a tailor-made putter of your choice. So every year, 3 years straight that it was available, my buddy and I signed up for it. It was incredible. It was like I think we paid $200 a person, and we got a $500 tailor-made putter and a free round at Coppenwood with some of the executives. So it
Nice.
was an absolute treat. That practice facility, I mean, just the 3 hole. Have you played it yourself? You
I
said
I
you
have
had or
not,
not?
and I have heard like from every
Unbelievable,
person I know that has played there, they've talked about the practice facilities there.
unbelievable.
Kevin as well. And Kevin's obviously played in some of the best courses in North America, right? So touring around, and he did say it's special. It's a special spot for sure. Is it a 3-hole course they have there?
3 hole practice course on side, separate from the range. They have a chipping area, like they have all of them, but to have 3 legitimate golf holes just for practice to me is incredible. And they're not easy; they are tough holes.
Yeah.
You're using a driver on the holes. Like it's just fascinating. It's unbelievable. It's a tough track. It is a very tough track. I will say that. But it's challenging but fair at the same time. But it's a great course. So you definitely have to get out there for sure.
Yeah, Brycer just got back to me now. He said he does know him. He hasn't said much else. He's just packing up and stuff like that at
Uh
work. So, but
oh.
yeah, when maybe we'll connect the dots later. I got a bid on that prize too. I got to get myself. I don't know. I've got a putter coming back up from a friend down south who does like club restoration. So I've sent my like holy grail. I have 2 of them. So I took the risk in sending it down there. Hopefully it made it, and it's on its way back now. It's crossed the border. Apparently, he was just telling me right before we hopped on the call. So,
Love that.
yeah, he does like complete restoration. So it's a 2011. I think it's 2011 or 2012 Delmar honey dip. So he actually, I sent it to him. I was like, hey, do whatever you want, man. Go for it. And he stripped it all down, and he did whatever I don't know, chemical imbalance that he does, and he essentially coppered the putter, which is pretty cool. And so
That's
it'll be like,
amazing.
it'll be like a raw copper, one of a kind Delmar, which will be really,
One of
really
one.
cool. One of one,
I
the
love
custom
that.
club special. So thank you, Chris. Thank you so much, man. I can't wait to get it, and I'm even nervous to put it back together myself, but we'll figure that out. But I just hopped in, Daniel, when you were kind of starting to talk about Rapsodo a little bit. So that's kind of the idea of the pod is everyone right now is like kind of really into their swing, into the numbers. People are starting to kind of get more in depth with their launch angles and attack angles and ball speed, club speed, all of these different things, and that's kind of something that the Rapsodo can do. I know we have a connection with Sarah, who's we've had Ryan Gregnell on the pod in the past, who's her husband. So she's been using it a little bit, which is pretty cool. I've seen that. So what's your role? What are you guys doing with Rapsodo?
Yeah, no, it's Rapsodo. I will say, was something that came way out of left field. We're a golf agency, right? So that's how everything started. Is we have plenty of connections in the golf world, and hats off to Joe for finding this product, but also he's very good friends with the CEO from the U.S. It's a U.S. based company, and struck a licensing deal with the U.S. parent company, and we are the exclusive Canadian distributors of Rapsodo. So Joe was able to meet with gentleman Art, who's their CEO, strike this deal, and we saw it as an opportunity like no other. From someone myself who's got that sales and partnership background and years of experience in the sports world, tied with Joe and his golf knowledge and his connections in the golf industry. We complement each other's skill sets so well, and brought the Rapsodo, or we brought this to Canada because we saw an opportunity. To your point, the beauty about Rapsodo, so it is a device that you download the app on your phone, and it just goes based on a stand. In fact, I may or not have the device right here. Maybe put a plug there, but the device is right here, and your phone just literally rests right on it, and it's so small and it's so tiny, and it's so portable, and it's the size of Bushnell. But the best part is the fact of what it can do. So, at its price point compared to the rest of the market, it's the only one that provides you with video playback and shot tracer technology. And it provides you with this instantaneous downloadable content, which you can send out, whether it be to your pros, or pros sending out to client to students, or if you want to post it on social media. We live in it's 2022. We live in a digital world,
For
right?
sure, yeah.
So I think you and I both know everyone wants to put content out there. Content is key, right? From podcasts to shot tracers to video golf content. We were talking about Mac before. Mac is one of the content kings in my opinion. Mac Boucher. Well, yourself as well, by the way,
Yeah.
to be clear. But
No, Mac
um,
is I have no problem taking a back seat on that Mac one. That is definitely for sure. Mac will be he'll be suiting up with us. He'll be in the chair in a couple of weeks.
love that.
Yeah, so he's gonna do actually episode number 100 with us the way his schedule lined up, which will be really nice. So he I think was probably number like episode 8 or something. So we never knew if we'd be here at number 100, but yeah, he'll be back on. So anybody listening who wants to check that out, I know, yeah, he is definitely, he's kind of the king of golf content. He really is. He's pretty creative and, you know, obviously like on the course, extremely creative too, right? So I think,
100%.
yeah,
Well,
fun to
I will
watch.
definitely be listening to episode 100. That's for sure. I didn't get to hear full transparency. I didn't hear episode 8. I don't think so. So I'm gonna have to go take a look. Or
I,
maybe I did hear it
I
and I
don't
didn't
know.
realize it was Mac.
It was my it was well, I'd been doing it a little while, and it was Mac's first ever podcast, and he was pretty nervous, like we were talking a little bit before, which is kind of funny now to see how much he's grown even in just like a couple of years, right? But he was kind of nervous to hop on, and yeah, it was good though. And then we were just kind of shooting the shit a little bit, and there was a Leafs game on, so we ended up just kind of like chatting as the game was on a little bit. It was cool. Really, really cool guy, and I know he's a bit camera shy, so it's kind of cool to see him come out of that a little bit. He didn't mind hitting the
Oh yeah,
golf shots and stuff, but now he's kind of getting his face out there a little bit, and I think he's he's a good advocate for the game and like kind of where the game is. Like it's like you say, there's so much content out there, and the game is definitely changing. Like it's ever evolving, but we're getting to a point where people want to be more creative on the course, and it's hard to find somebody that is more creative than him. Like I don't know,
oh,
maybe Bubba. I don't know. Like
yeah. I
Bubba
don't I
just
don't
does it
even
in real
think
time
Bubba.
on the PGA Tour, so that's the only difference, right? So yeah,
And that's the thing is, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Mac, does his own all his own content, edits his own stuff. I'm sure Bubba doesn't do that. I will take Mac over Bubba any day of the week as content king. But and Mac's working with us actually now. Mac's
awesome.
done a couple of Rapsodo promos and help post some content. Just because it helps him. I mean, we've been able to provide him with the analytics with his content. It kind of just matched perfectly, and it was in sync. Mac is a buddy of one of our VPs, Brendan Barrick, who's VP of Golf Management, who's amazing at what he does as well. And uh, I will say that Mac has been unbelievable. He's been so nice with us, and like I said, Rapsodo for us, it's just growing. We're just getting started. Excuse me. We've really only focused on making this large push in Canada this year. We're in golf towns across Canada, but we have a couple of big partnerships. I can't speak to yet because they're not official, but they're going to be coming for 2023 and a couple of massive deals. But we are excited to bring this product just to the average golfer, to the pro golfer, to the beginner. It goes for everyone, and that's what we loved about the product. And it retails on our site for 635 bucks. So you look at compared to the R10 or the flight scopes, all of those are over $1,000 easy, all the way to the TrackMan, which is 30 grand. And
Yeah.
for that is where we saw that opportunity. We saw that competitive advantage of the fact that we had that shot tracer technology and video playback and that instantaneous download content. providing all the same statistics from carry, total distance, launch angle, launch direction, ball speed, smash factor, club speed, side carry. So we're able to provide all those analytics, and we're within a percent, or 1.5% of most categories compared to the TrackMan, compared to a $30,000 TrackMan. So
Yeah,
it was an
that was
absolute
the
no-brainer.
quote when I was kind of going through. I was doing a little bit of research earlier. That was one of the quotes I like. 2% margin or something like that on the statistical side of it at 2% of the cost, right? Which is pretty impressive to be able to
It
you know put together a launch monitor that's handheld. Will it always be a handheld option, Daniel, or are you trying to like will it ever become something that's you know just put on the ground, or is it a convenience module essentially? Like,
It's a convenience module. We want it to be that, right? We want it to be portable. We want someone to be able to carry it around. It's
yeah,
literally, it comes in the same size and case of a Bushnell, the rangefinders. And I mean, think about how portable that is, right? It clips onto your bag, comes with its own clip too. Like we've purposed it so that it is very portable and easy to carry and bring around. You tie it to your app. You just download the app on your phone. Obviously, that makes it beneficial for the users. It's not a lot of legwork, not I'll tell you right now, there's someone that we're working with on a potential partnership, and they said it's frustrating right now because they're sitting in a situation where they have to stand behind someone, they have to film them, which you have to get the okay from the player because it's kind of distracting when you have a human standing behind you.
yeah.
They film them, and then they have to take a separate shot tracing app and actually draw the shot tracing, which is not always accurate, and they have to find another program for the analytics. So, okay, we're going to help solve all three problems in one shot, be able to provide you with that accuracy as far as the analytics, the accuracy as far as the shot tracer goes, and a little tiny portable device that sits 8 feet behind you that is not distracting. And if it's distracting you, you might need to focus on, the psychological part of your golf game because it should not, it does not even come in sight, being 8 feet away from your swing. So it's incredible.
Yeah, I can definitely say I would not notice that. I don't know if any golfers would. I kind of don't use I don't, the psychological aspect doesn't usually factor in until after I hit the ball, right? So, and then I kind of think back to what I
Yeah.
did, right? So it's like that for a lot of us.
And
I don't know. Yeah,
and
I've
then it
said it's,
affects the next shot, right?
well, the next shot's always the most important in golf. And I've said it so many times, like, I can shoot a 73 or 93 and I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter. The game doesn't change. I'm kind of at that point now where I'm just happy to be out there golfing. And I was kind of thinking as you and I got talking, Daniel, I was thinking like, it'd be a cool thing to like have out with your buddies and you're on like a par three and stuff like that. And you want to kind of check out a couple of stats or, I was thinking like men's night, like it'd be cool to like bring out the men's night and kind of get guys like using it and kind of checking it out and being able to see like their ball flight and how, those things go through. You mentioned them quickly there. I wanted to make sure I just went back over. So we got carry distance, total
You
distance
got carry distance,
and
total
total,
distance.
launch
Yep,
angle, launch
yep,
direction, club speed and ball speed,
yep. And then
side
smash
carry
factor.
and
Oh,
smash
sorry. Go
factor.
ahead. Yep,
Yeah, side carry and smash factor. The one thing that
you
I thought
got
was
it.
kind of neat was side carry. You're gonna see that with the tracer. Like it's gonna trace the ball for you. But it's kind of cool to see because I don't know, like I hit a pretty good as I get less and less flexible, I hit a pretty good draw. I'm a lefty, so I'm pulling the ball left to right, kind of like Mac. But it'd be kind of cool to like see his stats on like trying to use that thing. Is it able to track like a 30-yard sling? Like is it can
Uh,
go, yeah.
100%. I'm actually able
Wow.
to use it like that. And that's the amazing part about it, right? And the side carry is really cool. It's something that I don't use enough. And I have certain ones that I love, preferably my ball speed, club speed, launch
For
angle, and
sure.
distance. But side carry is great, especially for a lot of people that are trying to draw and slice the ball or try to fade it, excuse me. They want to know, kind of how far away from that target line it is, right?
Yeah.
Side carry is the distance from the target line, based on where the ball lands. So it's beneficial for a lot of people, especially for newer golfers that, I think we all know the common theme that ends up happening for newer golfers is the slice, right? The slice is usually this when you're starting and you don't finish the swing. The side carry allows you to kind of see how far you are slicing it away. And with that video playback, you can kind of slowly rewind and fast forward it to see what you're doing wrong. Um,
Oh, like it has the
so
capability to actually like kind of pause and like do freeze frame it.
absolutely,
Yeah.
you just have a dial, and you can just literally move your hand and you can just go back and forth with it. You can pause it, you can play it, you can just slide and just like kind of make your own slow motion. With the premium, we have a premium subscription model. It's $100 for the year, and what it does is allows you for slow motion. Also provides you with the Apex, your shot Apex, with a number of other features. For example, we have coaches that are actually on board with Rapsodo, and you can purchase lessons with them as part of the subscription model, where you can send in your video, and these are professionals that actually work with you, and they'll send you playback and their feedback. They'll draw imagery on your swings, tell you what to do or what not to do. And something you mentioned earlier, which I would be remiss if I didn't mention, is you go with your buddies and you're on a par three and you do a little competition of your own. There's actually competitions on Rapsodo. You can send in, they do long drive competitions or closest to the pins. They do combines, and you can send these film and footage into Rapsodo. And if you win, you'll actually win some perks out of it. For example, a free year subscription or a 6-month trial, just to add little fun and flavor to your game. But I love the par three aspect specifically because you can kind of guess your yardage, play closest to the pin. I was actually at Maple Downs today for the ladies pro-am, setting up at a par three, doing that exact same thing, asking them to kind of guess their yardage and filming them and seeing who was closest to the pin and see who could win. It was great.
Well, yeah, it's cool too. Like if you're just at the range, like with some buddies or something like that, hitting balls, you can kind of get an idea of. You can't really get out there and see who's went further or whatever it is. So, like me, if you're deep into like money games and that's kind of where your game is, then and you can kind of keep it wherever you go. So, yeah, I don't
100%.
I don't think Mike will take me up on any of those. If Mike's listening to the pod, I don't think he's gonna take me up on any of those. But we'll definitely find something to do with it. I was kind of looking at like the different insights, so all the club gapping and whatnot. So is it storing that information for you, like based on what club you're using?
Absolutely. So you can select which club you're using. It stores all of your analytics. It stores all of your graphs, your graphics of any shot you're taking, and it stores it for an extended period of time. I think it's about 500 gigabytes of data. There's so much space and usage in there, you'll never run out. That's what I've
Yeah,
always said.
anybody who's like
And
me, I'm looking at it, it'll hold 10,000 videos for you. So, uh,
exactly.
yeah. So if you're like me and you forget to delete videos, there's 10,000 of them there for you. So it's pretty awesome. That's
I'd say the only person that might affect, is someone like VJ Singh. I'll never forget. I remember in his prime was, I believe it was 1,000 golf balls a day at minimum that he would hit, and that's just wild. So I guess he only could last 10 days on there. But for most people, and I'm not like VJ, I will say you have an infinite amount of video space for you, Mac. But back to your point, the club gapping, it allows you to work on that. It's actually a really neat trick on the Rapsodo where you don't even have to keep selecting and tapping the different club. You actually could just point the number of your iron or your driver or your wood for that matter to the camera, and it automatically detects which club you're using, and it changes it automatically on there. It registers it. So then you could just pull up all of your 7-iron shots, all of your 8-iron shots, and you don't even have to tap anything. It just keeps filming and filming and filming.
does it factor in any like of the outdoor conditions? Is there any way to kind of factor that in?
It's a great question. So unfortunately, obviously, something like wind, it
Yeah.
can't. It'll project what your swing was based on your sorry, where the result is based on your swing. It's the ball trajectory.
Oh yeah, I
So
guess
it
so,
will
right?
not
Yeah.
take wind into effect, right? It won't say, oh, there was wind, it's actually going to bring it 20 yards less. No, it'll factor it in like there was no wind and it was a calm day, there was no breeze, there was no kind of slopes. It doesn't factor slope as well. So obviously sometimes I had someone come to me and say, I had a 150-yard hole, but it was straight downhill. It was 20-yard slope, and it didn't register. I said, well,
Yeah.
the Rapso is an amazing product, but I'm not going to lie, we're not perfect. Okay, so unfortunately, we couldn't factor in slope. But for the average golfer, especially to your point, you're hitting on the range. How many people are really factoring in slope or want to factor in slope there, right? You want to know what your straight yardage was, what your
Yeah,
straight
you want to be on the
carry and
flat
angle are.
you want to be on the flattest range that you possibly can be, right? So you get the most
Exactly.
accurate stats, and then that's kind of on you to work out all those like different I don't know whether you're a field player or not, like whether you working in the wind. I've been lucky enough to caddy for a couple guys on PGA Tour Canada, so that's one thing that I always ask is kind of how different players work in factor in wind, and if there's like any algorithm within their notes, or is it just kind of by feel? And everybody's got kind of a different response, right? So you're gonna take the data that you get from it. You're gonna find your average carry distance, your average shot distance for each club, and then you're going to kind of make your own adjustments from there, right? Everybody's going to be different. And if you're playing at, it all kind of depends where you're playing too, right? Like Maple Downs is
100%.
going to be, like I play at Port Hope, Maple Downs is going to be a lot different than at Port Hope, right? So yeah, it all kind of,
100%.
yeah, a lot of different things to work in. But so it sounds like the idea is, you take it to the range, you gather as much information, and then everybody's got their own little yardage book, whether it's mental or you're carrying a yardage book while you're playing, then you kind of, it'll give you as much information as you like, right? So covering all different, like 8 of those topics or 8 of those different, I don't know, little disciplines within the game is, it's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing for a little handheld device, right?
It's crazy to think of how far we've come. That's the way I always look at it, right? I mean, I didn't even think a launch monitor 10 years ago was going to ever be a thing or it even existed, right?
Yeah.
And I think to your point is that portability and being able to bring it on the range. It's not for the professional golfer, but like I said before, it's for the average golfer. It's for the beginning golfer because the beginners want to see their swing, what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong. For that matter, any golfer wants to see what they're doing right and wrong. But the beginner golfer might not care about their analytics as much and might care more about their swing, their side carry for that matter, their launch
Right.
direction, and we can help provide that. But the average golfer wants to know their stats, wants to be able to see their swing still. But you bring it to the range and be able to mess around with it and get your yardages and be able to kind of store and register all of those numbers and kind of work on that consistency and that's kind of the goal to help improve someone's golf game. But we wanted to make it fun as well. Like the I say content is key. We live in a digital world. I said it before and I'll say it again. It's everything, this day and age, and being able to it's within 10 seconds, instantaneously you can download this content and you can post it on any form of social media. You could send it via email or text message to a pro, to a friend. You want to brag to your buddies, like you were just mentioning. I want you bragging to them and saying, yeah, I hit this 300 yards. Now step up and try and beat me. Right. And, you could show that proof and you could show that number is proof because there's no other way you would be able to do it other than showing them, something like from a software like this. So I
I
guess
don't
that's
know,
your goal
Daniel.
now.
I hit a 348-yard drive the other day into a short par 5 and still had to chip in for par. So I don't know, man. It's
Wait, let's talk about the 348-yard drive.
it caught
That's
it caught the
insane.
it caught the slope in the right spot. It was pretty good. So it was
That's
yeah.
amazing.
I'm a big
Longest
guy. I
drive
could
ever?
no. So I have the longest one that I know I hit. I actually almost had an ace at. Again, we're going to talk about it. Probably half the episodes I've somehow talked about it, but I hit one to about a foot at Dundas Valley number 5. It was 345 yards. And I hit it to about a foot there. And that same day I had one 362, and that's the longest one that I remember.
My goodness.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wish.
So
I wish I could do
it's
that. What's
just
your average drive?
like I would say like my average like carry would be like 280 or something. Like
Love
so
that.
sometimes I find, like I probably my average drive distance yardage wise would be 290, 300 yards. I'm not the longest hitter out there. I definitely hit it pretty far, but like sometimes I think the other day I was kind of having a tough day and I just kind of ripped one and I just got a brand new driver. So yeah, I think I was just yeah, I don't really get upset on the course or anything. I like to just kind of try and hit the ball hard if I'm not hitting it well. So
That's
yeah,
the way to go. It's funny. I'm the opposite. I'm such a tempo based guy. All my friends, make fun because I'll drive probably about 260, 270, but that's, my kind of average or peak, if you will.
yeah,
I'm definitely a drive for show, putt for dough kind of guy, and I'm definitely my tempo and my short game, and I'm happy to go that club back and not go for it. I'll tell you right now, one of my best friends, we always play. We play a lot of games, and we definitely play a lot of money games. And he always, and I'll even drop his name to make him feel worse about it, but David Orland always goes for it in 2 on par 5s, and he always puts in the woods or the water, and he always chirps me for laying up, but I end up making birdie or par and beat him every time, and
you and
so
me, David.
it's
You and
it's
me.
always fun. Yeah, I say, Orland, keep hitting them, keep going for it in 2. I
Well,
can't wait till our next game.
yeah, I think like on that one, I can't remember what it was. I pulled like I don't know. I only had a 7 iron into the green or an 8 iron or something like that, and I like pulled it, and like everything slopes away from the green. Port Hope's like one of the oldest courses in Canada, so if you haven't played out there, it's amazing.
Never
But
been.
the bones are like super old, so it's you got to like find the fairway, and I can roll it. Like putting is definitely my strongest suit in my game. But yeah, I think I'd pulled it, and I think it like caught a bad slope in the fairway. I couldn't find it, so we got up there and I couldn't see it. Like it was on an elevated spot. So at least I don't know. I still made par with a dropped ball, so or lost ball. So that was something to take away from it. But when you're hitting like an
Oh,
eight
harsh.
iron, when you're hitting an 8 iron into a green or something like that, and still into a par five and still making par, that's not what we want in our game. But it's fun, and that's why I was intrigued by the Rapsodo, because I kind of like the idea of just making golf like a little bit of art, right, and finding a way to make it fun and kind of make it, we're a podcast, but I like to kind of throw up the odd reel and stuff. And Brycer here hits the ball like a mile, like he still hits it 20 yards past I do, like further than I do. So we'll have some fun. We'll have some fun hitting the ball around with one of those things. Have you? Like I mentioned Sarah earlier, so she's with Ryan Gregnell. It's Ryan Gregnell's wife. So he actually shout out to Ryan Gregnell because he went 6 for 6 and was 17 yards short of the longest set in pro long drive history. So that's pretty
I
cool.
saw that was
Yeah,
crazy. And
yeah,
that was a perfect segue because I was going to just talk about the fact that clearly neither of us are even close to Ryan as far as his drives go. Because
not even,
wow,
not
those
even.
are some mammoth bombs. Like it's like one of the coolest things to me is watching long drive competitions and the Kyle Berkshires of the world.
Yeah,
Yeah, Ryan is. I still have not met Ryan in person, and I'm excited. I'm going to bring Ryan and Sarah out to Maple Downs, and I just want to watch him hit absolute bombs. I
it's
cannot
so
wait, and
like,
Sarah too.
man, it's so crazy to watch. And like we've had Ryan on the podcast, been lucky to have Ryan on the podcast a couple times. He's a very well spoken guy, very good ambassador for the long drive game, which is a lot of people are kind of getting into it, right, and realizing that it's a fun aspect of the game. And he was, just kind of talking about same thing, like hitting the ball a far way and then kind of fighting for par, right? So it's sometimes that can happen, but he's a pretty good golfer too. Like I know he's got a pretty low handicap. And I guess where I was going with that though, Daniel, was how's the system like registering for some of those guys? Like is it able to kind of it's personal, it's handheld, and there's a setup. There's always like a million trackmans around where they are. Is Rapsodo able to kind of capture a lot of their numbers?
It's a great question, and you're sort of throwing me under the bus here, but you didn't know it. Ryan's swing speed is too quick that the Rapsodo actually was not able to register it, and this is not a joke.
Hey,
Couldn't believe it. Didn't
he's
think it was a possible.
yeah, he's
I
one of
did.
three men to in the planet. Him, Martin Borgmeyer, and Kyle Berkshire to get it 230. I saw Kyle Berkshire just got
It's
it like 236, but
unbelievable.
yeah. So
Unbelievable. So it's unfortunate. It was unfortunate, but it actually, I always say it's a blessing in disguise because now it allows Rapsodo to work on something and make sure they have it fixed.
of course.
So we are actually working on getting it for Ryan to be set up because Ryan, no joke, Ryan's swing speed is too quick that it wasn't picking up Ryan's swing.
I don't
I've
think it's
never
something.
heard.
Look, Daniel. I
I
don't think
didn't
it's
think that
something
was
that needs to be
possible.
fixed. I think it's just Ryan's a bit of a freak, and there's like only a couple of them on the planet that are hitting the ball like that, right? So it does. Yeah.
Fair,
I
fair.
I definitely
I,
didn't know like how fast the swing speed would be that it would capture, but because I'm also thinking like if you like the TrackMan or the GC Quad, they're a little bit bigger of a system as well too, right? So
exactly.
you are going to be not necessarily sacrificing anything, but there's going to be some things that might not be the same with the
For
convenience of a
sure.
handheld like option or module, like I was saying, like being so small, right? And like being the size of a Bushnell, something that you can just kind of toss in your bag. And one of the things I was thinking is I've had a friend Paul Park on from G Pod. So I don't know if you know G Pod or iRange Sports. They have like the pegs that go on the
Yep.
ground. So that was one of the things for me is like when I'm setting up at the range, like I'm not really into like a big setup and taking video and all that kind of stuff. And I know Mac is the same way. Like I know he's talked so many times about how he kind of throws something like in a towel on his bag and he just kind of throws the phone in there. Yet he's probably the most recognized social media like shot influencer in the world now. But I think it's kind of really cool that it's just something that you put on the ground. It's not intrusive. It's something that you're just there to kind of collect the data and work on your game, and that's why it's there, right? I'm not saying that a
Exactly.
TrackMan is by any means or a GC Quad, but it can be intimidating too for somebody to kind of set up and put one there, and
For sure.
and you want to kind of just worry about focusing on the game and hitting those shots, right? So, the fact that it can't capture 231 miles per hour ball or swing speed or whatever it is, ball speed, yeah, sorry, ball speed, but
It's a
it'll
good
be there,
problem
I'm
to
sure.
have.
It is a good
Yeah.
problem to have,
Well,
yeah.
And look, to your point, like we're not competing with the $30,000 TrackMans, the
Exactly.
multi-thousand-dollar GC quads. I mean, that's not the market we're competing with. We understand that if you have that money and you want to go spend it on that, the hardcore pros are going to be using that technology, and that makes perfect sense. And that's not the market we're trying to capture, and we're okay with that. But I do want Ryan to be using our product. I love Sarah has been unbelievable. I cannot speak. I can only say great things, excuse me, about Sarah. She's, and just for context, like I met her because I was going through Instagram and I was looking for people that I thought would fit the mold and help grow the brand and be an influencer and an ambassador for Rapsodo in Canada. And I came across Sarah's profile and it's very engaging and her content was great. And I didn't even know Ryan at this point. And then Sarah mentioned to me about her fiance Ryan, long drive champion in 2020, I believe it was.
Yep.
But look, Sarah's been incredible, and it's been so fun working with her. And she's been providing some amazing content for us, and we can't thank her enough. And from everything from what we've noticed, she loves using the Rapsodo. I just want her fiance to use it because I could see some really fun competitions. Soon to be husband and wife, creating some closest to the pins, or I can't say longest drive because I think Ryan's got her almost every time. That's just a guess, but it'd be fun to be able to make some great content between the two of them. But more importantly, I just want Ryan to enjoy it just as much as Sarah is, and just like anyone else that has the product in hand. But yeah, my goal is to make sure, and I'm working with Rapsodo US right now to work on it so that Ryan can use our device because I want to post his bombs on social media. I want to brag about all of his shots and watch how he just absolutely annihilates the ball every single time and be able to share that with the world.
Well, it's one of the things too that Ryan and I talked about was kind of going into like the hitting bay and kind of renting the machine and renting uh a device to and just kind of having the ability to just kind of they're at Galt, which is a beautiful course, right? Bring it out on the course and kind of hit the ball. I think it would just be a blast to be able to kind of watch it and get some of that content. And yeah, Sarah's pretty awesome. Sarah's always kind of giving me updates. I'm always sending her messages when they're at the events and stuff. So she's always really good at getting back to everybody, or me when I'm just kind of saying like how's he doing, how's things going, and yeah, she's pretty cool. So they've got a pretty
Can't thank her enough. Can't
yeah,
thank her enough.
yeah,
Seriously.
they would be a tough scramble team. Luckily, it's not. Well, they're not yet, but husband and wife, when they get to that point, if they got into your I guess match there at Maple Downs, that'd be a tough team to beat. I think like Ryan's got to be like the dream scramble like partner to have, like just being able to hit
For
the ball
sure.
400 yards. Why not, right?
Well, thankfully for the Maple Cup tournament that we won, you can't be husband and wife, so I
Exactly.
don't feel as bad. I'm okay with it. I can still go for the three-peat next year with my mom. No, but you're absolutely right. It's funny because our par fives are for long ball hitters. Every single par five, there's four of them. There's three on the front, one on the back. They're all reachable in two. And a swing like Ryan's is there's no problem. He will be able to reach those in two without a shadow of a doubt.
It's gonna be a little bit
I'm just
different than who was it? Sorry, Dave.
Then Dave, yeah. Well, David can't. Yeah, exactly.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Dave.
David will not. Yeah, no, sorry, Dave. Yeah, I definitely won't be gambling with Ryan for on the par fives like I will with my buddy. That's for sure. I promise you that much.
All right, well, Daniel, thank you so much, man. I know you got chicken. I know I've kind of taken up a bit more of your time, just kind of chatting here. You got chicken cool in the oven, but I appreciate it. Hopefully, we didn't dry it out too much. Hopefully, you can enjoy it. Kind of as Rapsodo gets going in the Mindful Sports group, we got to get you back on. I really appreciate you making the time, man. This was a lot of fun.
Hey, thank you very much, Mac. I really appreciate it. It was great meeting you. Obviously, anytime you want to have me, would love to. Would love to kind of catch up, just talk golf, shoot the shit. Obviously, any one of your listeners that want to buy Rapsodo will happily provide a unique 15% off promo code. We'll do on the screws 15, all one word. And would love to obviously have anyone else that wants to use it. Please feel free to fire away any questions at me. But look, I love the pod. Been having a great time. Excited to hear Mac on for number 100 as well. But more importantly, just love what you're doing, and thanks for having me.
Perfect, perfect. And yeah, so anybody who wants to check out Rapsodo Golf, I'm going to link the descriptions below. The Mindful Sports group, they got a lot of cool players, so it'd be a lot of fun to go try, kind of, check them out, track them. And then you said it was on the screws 15 for
On the
Rapsodo.
screws
Yeah,
15, all one word, caps, all
awesome.
caps.
So go over, check it out, grab one of these things because they're pretty awesome. I think it's just kind of something that, if we can all get to the point of where we can get one into our bag, why not, right? And it's only going to help us get better. It's like a training device that's also like good for content creation as well, right? So
absolutely, you
Daniel,
nailed it.
Thanks so much, man. Appreciate it. We'll see you again soon.
Thanks again, Mac. Appreciate it.
Is out in my ball in the course where I tee up. I lose a ball and I re-up. I miss a fairway, I probably end up in the ocean or maybe the beach. And I'm on a par 5 and I'm finna go reach it. Second was blind, I ain't see it. Feel like it might be an albatross working.